If you've been following us since the appointment of Arne Slot as Jurgen Klopp's successor, you'd probably remember us posting a video discussing the Dutchman's track record of improving players, whether it was during his days at AZ or Feyenoord. And so many Liverpool fans were intrigued to see how Arne Slot would transform Darwin Núñez into a goal-scoring machine in particular, similar to how he maximised Jimenez at Feyenoord. Other fans also pondered how he'd reinvent the likes of Harvey Elliott, Cody Gakpo and Curtis Jones. However, not many really bring up Luis Diaz. In fact, over the summer, some fans even said that they'd rather Anthony Gordon join the club and see Luis Diaz leave for either Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain. However, 3 games into the season, and Luis Diaz has been prolific, scoring 3 goals and getting 1 assist. Not many expected this start, did they? Our number 7 has been setting fire to the league under Arne Slot, and this is where the main question pops up. How has Luis Diaz improved so significantly? Well, from briefly discussing his struggles last season to how he improved in this new role under the new manager, hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive straight into the Colombian's transformation. So before we go into how Diaz is shining this season, we need to take a quick look at why he struggled in the last campaign. See, there's no denying that Lucho's performances were underwhelming last season, with just 8 goals and 5 assists in 37 Premier League appearances. And if you think about it, there were many reasons for his poor showing. Firstly, he was recovering from a devastating knee injury that he suffered against Arsenal in the previous season. And let us not forget the unfortunate distress that happened to his family, which undoubtedly made it difficult for him to focus on football. With these things in mind, it's extremely tough for a player to get his head down and consistently work on himself to develop and get back to full fitness, let alone perform week in and week out on the highest stage with all of the pressure of playing for a big club. Speaking of pressure, we can all remember how our front line struggled at the end of Klopp's tenure. Let us refresh your memories. Klopp's Liverpool was known for its clinical finishing, goal scoring, creativity and flair. However, this was mainly possible because the entire team created numerous chances for their forwards over 90 minutes. This allowed the forwards some leeway in converting the chances. However, at the end of the last campaign, Liverpool struggled to consistently create good chances for their forwards, a game in which the forwards are provided with few opportunities and asked to convert all of them to get a result wasn't ideal. Diaz and even Núñez were victims of this last season, and missing 1 or 2 chances meant the game was never going to be won. And this, guys, is maybe the reason why many Liverpool fans didn't seem bothered with parting ways with the Colombian. But however, this hasn't lasted long, with Diaz now shining in a new role for the Reds. So to understand Luis Diaz's new role, we need to see how Slot used his left wingers at Feyenoord. So let's take a quick look at that. At Feyenoord, Slot used Piaxo as the left winger, who often drove into central areas to act as a left-sided number 10. This role suits a ball-to-feet player. Piaxo was also consistently seen making runs centrally into the box when the ball progressed on the other side. He was also pretty good at weaving his way out of a crowd with the ball and could take on defenders 1v1. These qualities sound similar, don't they? Exactly. These are Diaz's best attributes. So let's take a look at how he's doing in this new role. Let's start with our first game of the season against Ipswich. Notice here in this player average position map, the central role or movements made by the Colombian winger. Unlike any usual winger holding the width, we can all see how Diaz was more central. It's also worth mentioning that Slot tries to overload on the left, creating space for the trio of Salah, Szoboszlai and Trent on the right. In these rotations on the left, Jota and Diaz interchange positions. So we've seen the Colombian international taking up a central role while Jota drops deep. These rotations directly influenced the game as both Liverpool goals came down the right with Salah and Szoboszlai running into space. This video is sponsored by Clothing. Clothing is a Liverpool clothing site owned by match-going fans. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Anfield, down your local or cozy in the comfort of your own home. As stated, each design is limited edition, and if a product is showing out of stock, they will not be restocking the item, so if you have your eye on something, grab it fast. Lastly, Clothing wants fellow Reds to be 100% satisfied with their orders, so if there is a reason you're not happy, they will refund you with no questions asked. Head over to clothing.com or down into the link in the description to get all of your Liverpool merchandise. Anyway, let's get back into today's video. Now let's turn our attention to the game against Brentford, where Diaz had a stellar finish to put Liverpool 1-up and added a beautiful assist to Mo to seal the game. Here Diaz showed his tenacity and freakish athleticism. The goal and assist reminded us a lot of Mane, ruthless on the counter, topped off with a lethal finish and smart play to pick out Salah from the middle for the second goal. Now if you rewatch the highlights of the game, it will be interesting to see the position Diaz picked up during the build-up to the second goal. Yes, you guessed it right. He was central. Finally, let's take a look at the United game. And of course, we all saw how Diaz butchered the Red Devils with a well-communicated and placed header and another ruthless finish. By the way guys, Diaz's second goal and the number of times he scored and ended up on the bottom are interesting running stats to keep an eye on. But in this game, there was a change in the way Liverpool set up. Usually we saw Jota out on the left to combine with Diaz. However, against United, we saw Szoboszlai drifting out wide to combine with Diaz, which allowed him to roam centrally, with McAllister providing support at the base. This change happened for two reasons. One, it helps lock down United's build-up on the right, and two, Alexis played as the deepest midfielder, while Ryan played a box-to-box role, occupying the space on the right. In the build-up to the first goal, you would have seen Diaz making the run into the box, which allowed him to get into a really good area to head the ball home for a goal. This box crashing isn't new for Diaz under Slot. We've seen this pattern enough times to deem this as a role similar to Piaxo at Feyenoord. This could also be seen for Trent's disallowed goal, where Diaz made a run into the box and received it from Ryan to roll it across. Diaz also played a vital role in the build-up in the second goal by winning the ball from Casemiro and making a run into the box. After realizing Martinez was marking him, he decided to create some space by stepping back and out of Martinez's cover shadow, making himself free to receive the ball from Salah. This allowed a free path for the Egyptian to roll into Diaz, who showed his ruthlessness again by slotting the ball into the right-hand corner. To draw a parallel to last season, Diaz used to make really good runs into space, however his poor decision-making in shots and poor areas yielded poor output. The player missed 13 big chances, which seems like a lot, doesn't it? Usually if a player is missing a lot of big chances, it means they're getting a lot of good opportunities and their expected goals should be higher. Well, Diaz's XG per 90 minutes was only 0.4, which is fairly low. So the strange part is that his numbers didn't suggest he was a regular goal threat, yet he was still missing a lot of big chances, which usually only happens to players who are more involved in attacking plays. So the problem here can be that the quality of chances provided to Diaz were not up to the required level. Now Luis Diaz has 0.71 XG per 90, an improved conversion rate of 50% from 34%, and that's mainly because the chances he's getting are much better compared to last season. See, looking at the season's shot map, it's evident that Diaz has stopped taking shots from low value areas and is now more measured. It's simple. The system now sees Diaz getting into better areas on a more regular basis. The result is better opportunities and, at the minute, more goals. And this is how Slot has changed the way we see Luis Diaz. Well, who knew that hand-taped Diaz with yellow hair was the version we all needed, huh? Luis Diaz's transformation under Arne Slot has been nothing short of remarkable. From a player who struggled with decision making and efficiency last season, he has evolved into a key figure in Liverpool's attack so far. Slot's tactical adjustments, allowing Diaz to take up more central positions and play to his strengths, have unlocked his full potential. By optimizing his shot selection and improving his movement in the box, Diaz is now a more consistent goal threat, as evidenced by his increased XG and conversion rate. This evolution highlights not only Slot's astute management, but also Diaz's adaptability and growth as a player. As the season progresses, Diaz's resurgence promises to be a vital asset for Liverpool, showcasing how a change in system and confidence can redefine a player's career. So what do you think? Do you see Diaz continuing this rising form throughout the rest of the season, helping Slot and Liverpool have a successful campaign? Or do you think teams and defenders will start to figure out a way to counter Diaz? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed today's deep dive, do hit the like and subscribe button for more content, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.